Hey everyone, I wanted to just make this quick video about brushes. There's something that I learned probably 10 years ago about brushes that I did not know, and it made picking a brush make so much more sense. So we're gonna get into it. Okay, so when it comes to brush picking, it's these things. Basically, we're going to go for a brush that's either gonna give us a lot of airflow and quicker drying time or less drying time, all the way up to how much control or heat concentration we need. So that's gonna be how you're gonna pick your brush. So the fastest way to dry anything with a blow dryer is your hands and your blow dryer. And what that's gonna do is your hands will absorb water from the hair, and you will be able to dry the hair the fastest that way, but you have really no control because there's nothing, you're just kind of doing this, with a blow dryer. So it'll get dry fast, but it won't really give you any control. So on the very low end of the thing with the most airflow and the quickest drying time is gonna be your hands. So next up is going to be this guy. This is called a vent brush. Most people have these, seen these. It's got holes in it. So basically it's going to give you a little bit control because you're going to have bristles to kind of comb the hair with, but you're going to have all the airflow going through the back of the brush. That's why it's called a vent brush. This will give you a little bit, just a little control, and it'll give you a lot of fast drying time as well. So that's going to be our second one. So we're going to have a lot of airflow. We're going to have quick drying time, and we're gonna slightly get more control as we go up. The next brush that's gonna give you even more control and heat concentration, but not a lot of airflow, is gonna be your paddle brush, okay? And your paddle brush does not have holes in the back. One thing about paddle brushes too is if you hold them vertically to comb through the hair, you're gonna have a lot more easier time detangling versus if you hold it this way. Because I don't know if I can show you this, but if you hold it up like that, you can see all these bristles are like in a line. But if I hold it this way, can't really see it, but they're staggered like this. So when you hold a brush this way and you comb down, you're gonna get a lot of smoothness, versus if you do it this way, you're gonna get more tension. So a lot of times you'll see people pull it this way, you'll get a lot of, you'll get more control and more air, more heat concentration, and that's kind of be like your midway brush for kind of everything. Speedy drying time, but also gives you even more control than the vent brush or your hands. So there we have our third one. Paddle brush is a good right in the middle one. It's gonna give you a good amount of airflow and control and heat concentration. It's just kind of a good middle of the ground brush, and almost everyone has a paddle brush, so use them. So the next brush, which is gonna be probably the ones that I think most hairdressers don't even use or own, but I think I use it the most, is gonna be this brush right here. This is actually a vest brush, not a Denman brush. The difference between a vest brush and a Denman brush is this being vest, these bristles are ceramic, so they give a lot of polish to the hair. Same thing, this is, all the bristles are in a line this way versus this way they're staggered, just like the paddle brush. The difference between a vest brush and a Denman brush is Denmans have usually a pink back, and they have this kind of eraser-like quality, so it gives you a little bit more grip when you're, pulling on the hair, more tension. The other thing is the curvature. So this being a vest brush is basically half of a round brush, where a Denman is usually about there. So it's about a third of a round brush. So they're very, very similar. I use this probably on everybody. It's my favorite used brush. And it gives you a lot of polish, and it's awesome. Love it. So the vest or Denman brush will land here. So again, you're getting more heat concentration, not a lot of airflow, but you're getting a lot more polish and a lot more control over the hair and shaping the hair. You don't always have to use a hot tool like a flat iron afterwards if you really, really polish it with that vest or Denman brush. Okay, so the final two, these are where this whole thing can get a little controversial depending on the stylist you talk to, but the next brush that's gonna give you more control, almost the maximum control, and you will get a lot of airflow and all that stuff, is a metal round brush. Okay, metal round brush, ceramic brush. This one is a ceramic core brush. It does have holes in it, so you do get airflow through it, but a lot of times people just say these are for styling, but really all brushes are for styling. You're heat styling the hair when you use a brush and blow dryer, or doing an air wave, or whatever you want to call it. But this is going to give you a lot of control and a lot of shape and a lot of heat concentration, because this being metal or ceramic or some sort of conductor of heat is going to allow you to change all the hydrogen bonds of the hair, which are broken by water or heat in this situation. So like, when you get bedhead and you have slept in hair, you either wet it or you blow dry it, you're rearranging your hydrogen bonds. So this is going to be one of the most maximum controlling brushes that you can use. So again, in the lineup, we've got all the way up to here to have the most control and going to have the most heat concentration is going to be our metal round brush. Now there's one more after this. Now the final brush, there's actually two brushes I have, but there's the same message behind them. It's these brushes, okay? These brushes are considered boar bristle, or I don't think these ones are actually boar, but we call them a boar bristle brush, even though they might be synthetic. This is a boar bristle round brush. This is what's called a cushion brush. A lot of times people use these ones for styling. You can also use them for blow drying, but the thing that these two are gonna give you is not a lot of airflow. You're not gonna get the hair dry fast with these, but you're gonna get an absolute smooth finish, high polish, a lot of heat concentration. So you'll, if you use one of these when you're doing a blowout, you will not need to use a flat iron or a hot tool like an iron, as long as you give it enough heat. So these are gonna be your most maximum controlling heat concentration brushes that you have. So there you have it right there. I would say take a picture of that. This is gonna be, like I've been saying, it's gonna be your most airflow, quickest drying time to your slowest drying time, but maximum styling. So that's kind of how these go. And when I learned this definitely changed how I picked brushes. I didn't just always reach for, you know, my vent brush or my Denman brush or whatever I was using. I just feel like there was a lot more of a method to the madness of why you have so many brushes, and they're not just because they look cool. There's a reason between all of them. So this is great for stylists. This is also great for you clients, because when you're picking a brush, you know, you're not a hairdresser like we have like a million brushes. You can pick the best brush that fits your needs. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if you have any content you want me to create, yeah, do that in the comments too. Anyways, I hope this little quick tip helped, and I will see you guys later.